Hi everyone. Soon, just in a moment. Okay. About to begin. Yeah, judgment writing. We're going to start with judgment writing right in the beginning. All right. What query, Rajashekar Reddy? What query that we didn't answer? So, where are you guys logging in from? Which part? Which city? Which town? Which district? Nice. Chandigarh. Oh my God, Agra, Bikaner. It's moving so fast. I can't read. Delhi, Kolhapur, Punjab, Allahabad, Ghaziabad, Meghalaya, Chennai, Pithoragarh, Jammu, Kenya, Madhubani, Ahmednagar, Solapur, Meghalaya, Kerala, Kanpur, Ranchi, Gwalior. Nice. Vadodara, Vijaypur, Rewa. Somebody's from Washington, DC also. I don't know what you're doing here. Kolkata, Jaipur, Ali. Very nice. South Delhi. Good, good. Good to have all of you with us. A lot of people joining by the second. Abhyuday, fire up the presentation. Started without delay.
Okay.
We have some exciting
Starting?
today. We are really, really excited. Yeah, Abhyuday, go ahead.
Hi, welcome everybody. Just 1 minute. Yeah. So, welcome to the third and final day of the. Have been having a great day so far till today. I hope you've been enjoying and being really excited. It's really amazing that we are finally not easy to put in 6 hours, 3 hours every day, still date, and arrive till here. I want to congratulate all of you through the boot camp. Okay, let's congratulate all ourselves for it. How many of you here paid the booking amount yesterday? And great. Some of you are saying that you have very good. Congratulations, welcome on board. Okay. You will receive a call from our team within 48 hours of payment to assist you with the process, okay, so that you can start. Give it 48 hours. Okay. If you missed it, you missed it. Better luck. I have a happy announcement to make for you. I'm very happy today that we are able to help this one person. Yesterday, somebody wrote, and this is the message she sent. Please help me out.
Is that person here? Are you here? Who requested this?
Not
Go ahead,
got the
Abhyuday.
message yet. Please help me out. You won't regret it. I can't ask help from my parents because all that treatment of cancer and still 2 chemotherapy sessions are pending, but I can't lose this opportunity. Please help me. I need this scholarship very.
You know, this person is a fighter. When we got this message, we realized that this person is really a fighter and we have to help her out. And lucky, a kind-hearted person agreed to sponsor her, and it was really, really good. So I just wanted to share this with all of you in the beginning of the session. Will make you also feel a lot of inspiration that somebody who has two chemotherapy left is preparing with so much zeal and with so much confidence. And what is your excuse, right? We don't have any excuse. We is facing, and you have to really, really step up. Okay, this is the kind of courage it takes to do this, right?
Now, today we are going to teach you two different skills. One is how to write a judgment for judiciary exams. One is how to study local acts. And we will give you example of rent control legislation and say how to go about studying that. Okay. And then we will help SWOT analysis. Do you know what a SWOT analysis is? Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Okay. Now people do SWOT management schools for businesses. because they are solving big problems when they're doing business, right? But you have a big challenge ahead of you, which is to crack the judiciary. It's not easy. It's a difficult, long journey. So what we did is we applied that's the business management concept to preparation, and we have created a framework with which you can actually measure where you stand and what it is that you need to start working on. So be able to prioritize what to start working on. Okay, so we have all of this to cover. So let's just, okay. My screen hung up. Time is precious. Are you ready to begin the work for the day? We don't have a lot of for this boot camp. 1 second, my screen is hanging up. Need to check why that's happening. Okay, I think a lot of us think that Delhi rent control, local laws is a huge challenge for people. And what I spoke about, rent control, for example, or judgment, these are some of the hardest things to learn and the most postponed, procrastinated things. Coaching centers also deal with it last. There is not enough time, but we are doing the opposite. Some of you have taken up the offer, many of you won't be in the course, but what we giving you the most difficult stuff first and in the most simplest form, so that after the bootcamp is over, you can remember it and you need to study by yourself also. Okay. So over time, you'll see today that you've picked subjects and you will be able to dive deeper. And we focused on the most difficult stuff like reading judgments, selecting your states, creating study plans. Yesterday, it is sent to you with the giveaways. We sent 1900 plus giveaways. Okay. People got 1900 plus people got it. Then we taught you hardest thing, the most important thing, and something that's not taught. Now today we will teach you judgment writing and local laws. So all the difficult bootcamp 3 days, you will know that each and every difficult corner of judiciary exam we have looked at and help you out with. Okay. We want skills to remain with you, and which is why we have also been sending you amazing giveaways. I know that some things you will remember, everything you will not remember from what we teach you. Send you more and more amazing giveaways by email so that you can use this. The exact number of people who got this giveaway was 79. We want to enable you to powerfully embark on your judiciary preparation after even the bootcamp today is over. So who giveaway? If you have attended for 2.5 hours, you would have got the giveaway. Okay. Please write to webinars@lawseco.in. A lot of you don't attend for 2.5 hours and then you say that I didn't get the giveaway. Okay, so take us 11 giveaways today, including the SWOT analysis template. I'll do the SWOT analysis with you today, but you'll also get the template so that you can answer for your own self. Okay. And so there's like a diagnostic mock, a legal digest on contemporary legal topics. This is 1,000 by Harshit Sharma. He teaches in the course also. Okay. Then study materials on important 5 topics on CRPC, Study Control Act. So I'll teach you something and then you will get detailed 50-page booklet on Delhi Rent Control Act. MP Judiciary Mains, we are giving you as an practice workbook. Okay, for MP Judiciary Mains, also because MP Judiciary Mains is coming up. Is there anybody who's sitting for this mains? If you are, you can say hi to us. Okay, so this practice workbook will be useful for you. Constitutional law mock for prelims we are giving you. You can use this generally judiciary prelims exam where constitutional law is tested. Current affairs compendium we are giving you. We told you we help you with all the subjects that are there, so you will get a flavor. Current affairs is to be dealt with, and you'll get a practice quiz also, which is usually rare unless you are taking like a mock test where a rank list is shared. This is not given, so we are giving this. And latest case laws we are giving you for April to June 2001 or 2021. There are about 108 case summaries for your benefit. And then there's a translation exercise. So you see there's language, case laws, all of that is combined. Okay. to attend today for 2.5 hours or more will get it. Okay. We can see from Zoom who has logged in for how long. We will follow that data. If you have any doubt, you that how long you've logged in for, and based on which you are eligible or not. And today we'll also talk about a couple of very important things. Yesterday we offered 50 towards the end of the session, and soon after it, like within a few minutes, they were all gone. Okay, all the seats were gone. You called then to tell us that you had a few questions, you couldn't get them addressed, and also you didn't, or some of you started to talk to your parents, or didn't get a chance to reserve your seat because by the time you convinced them, the slots were over. A lot of you had that problem. Most importantly, at that time, the page was crashing. Many of you went to the payment page, the page was crashing, and you couldn't pay for that reason. So today we will talk about briefly, and we'll give only 10 more people an opportunity to get this scholarship. In case yesterday you wanted to enroll, you couldn't. Only 10 people today. Today there are about 1,200, 1,300 people here. So 10 people, the first 10 to enroll can get it. Okay, only 10 more because we have to, because we have limited resources to give to coach you, and these scholarships are hugely subsidized. But right now we will not talk more. It is not working. We'll open a few more slots, the 10 more slots which I'm talking about. Around 7 p.m. we will open, and anybody here, so that you can get a fair chance. If you give you one hard push to take action, so that all the ideas you have learned about, you can actually put them into motion for your judiciary preparation. Without action, all insights are garbage, right? So you need to take action on all the knowledge. Without solid goals, information won't benefit you. So now let's start learning the skill. Okay, we are going to start how to write a judgment exams. Let us try to work on this. Okay. So which states do you need to learn this for? You need to learn judgment writing. As a judge, you will be writing judgments every day, literally, right? Because you will have to decide cases. So that is why judgment. Now, some states have a clear segment in it, like Rajasthan, MP, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Kerala. Important states which test your judgment writing skills. But does that mean that for other states you don't have to? Anybody knows the answer to this? Also, what happens is, like Delhi, there are so many long answer type application based questions that they will give you facts both parties and they'll ask you to decide, and that will be carrying 15 marks. So one side, so facts, arguments of one side, and then they'll say decide. Now there you don't have to write the full judgment as per the technical format, but you will have to do a lot of the work that you have to identify the issues, you have to write the arguments, you have to analyze the legal provision and the facts, all of that. Okay. Now, several states do not test you on judgment writing, but they are testing you on legal drafting. So these are the states where you will need to know legal draft. You need to know the decision-making part of how to write a judgment. You may not need to know the format, okay, of a judgment, but you will need to know how the body of the judgment looks, because that is how you have to write the answer. These states are Himachal Pradesh, Delhi, Punjab, and Haryana. This comes for a range. Now, how many marks does a question to decide a dispute, or 10 to 40 marks based on which? Okay. I'm going to show you sample question from the exam in 2014 mains, Maharashtra Judiciary. If we're ready, it doesn't matter if it is not specifically pertaining to your preferred state, but you will get a flavor of it. Okay. I haven't taught on, so how can I repeat it? Let us see this. This is a question, and you can take a screenshot if you want. Importantly, don't try to mug the judgment up. Never try to cram. Okay, please try to understand the process, because if you try to mug up the situation law, but you will not learn how to write the judgment. I am not currently teaching you law. I will teach you law when I'm teaching you Delhi local acts. Okay. I will that time teach you law. Here, don't try to mug up the law. Okay, can I have your confirmation that you will focus with me on the pattern and the flow? So here is the question. Thank you. Plaintiff and defendant number one start a business in partnership and they are investing half share of the business. 50-50, they have a partnership. One of the partners, defendant number is the brother. So defendant number one is a brother, gives his premises for running the business and doesn't charge any rent. No other fact is given to us. Okay. On defendant number one retires. You know what is retirement from partnership, right? You have heard of this term? Okay. There is that you can buy out the share, you can exit from the partnership. You may, reach retirement age after 60, you may retire various ways. Okay. So defendant from his partnership till there it's fine. But his minor son succeeds to the partnership. Now he is being accepted as a partner. After some period, the suit for dissolution of the partnership firm, claiming half share in capital, right? So two partners was there, one retired partnership as a minor, and the plaintiff is saying that I want my share now, I want to dissolve the partnership. Okay, and he's filed before the court and saying that my share is there, give the share to me. You understood the problem now? Now there are two. This is the averments in the plaint. Okay. What is the defendant saying? There's defendant one and there's defendant one is the actual partner. Okay. And defendant two is the brother. Okay. So the are saying that the partnership firm is not registered. So the suit can't be maintained. Okay. If you have read Partnership Act, you will know there is some legal. You must register the partnership for suits between the partners and between the firm and the partnership to be capable of being filed before the court. Plaintiff alone, another thing they are saying, plaintiff alone cannot take a decision on the dissolution of the partnership. The defendants want to continue with the business. Okay. Doesn't have half the share in the capital and the profit. Now the brother of the defendant is saying that I was giving my place for. Why was I doing that? Because I'm a partner. Okay, that is why I'm giving it. So now three of us are equal partners. I am also entitled to 1/3 of the share. That is what they were saying. And the other argument they were saying was that as the son of the defendant is a minor, you can't file a suit against the minor, and because he's not liable for any loss anyway. Okay, so minors, that is contract law, that law say that the minor can get the benefits, but not any obligations and liabilities and not any losses, right? So things, more information about the partnership deed, terms about the partnership, are these given to us? These are not given to us. Okay. And if you are a real judge, you will ask these questions to the counsel, you will ask the parties to submit evidence. But when you're writing judgment in judicial, you have to stick to the facts. So you have to be very careful when you get all these ideas that if it's not given in the facts, you exclude it. Distracted. Okay. So now I'm going to teach you how to write the judgment, the format, and then we will two important things, the issues, how to frame issues in the judgment, right? Framing issues is the very critical part. And then we will see how to write the design. Okay, so here's the part. Three things you need to know: format, issues, and analysis. The format is going to book list went out yesterday. This is the format. You can take a look, and depending on whether it is a civil judge or a civil matter or a criminal matter, the name of the judge. So I have taken a real trial court judgment, and then I have given excerpt that what you have to write manually, right? So you civil judge dash, okay, or whatever it is in your matter or in the court of dash. This is what it looks in a real one. Learned senior civil judge, okay, Saket District Courts, New Delhi. Okay, so yes, and the fact that this is in judge or the sessions judge or the judicial magistrate of first class. Okay, you have to identify the right court. Now, in the matter of plaintiff one, here you will have to write hyphen plaintiff versus number one, defendant number two, and then you will have defendants on the right hand side. So here it is, and then you will also go and write, but look here, it's written in the court of, after the first line you will also write, you can write this in additional senior civil judge. Okay, this is also a way to write it, but don't write your name. Okay, you might be disqualified if you write your personal name. So you write, okay, and say name of judge in brackets. All right, with me till here. The top part you can write it this way, you can write this line, and then you know how to write the names of the parties. The word CS, can anybody tell me what CS means? CS means for 1200 of 2017 civil suit, and if it's a criminal matter, it could be like this, criminal dash. Okay, we are teaching you two examples, but depending on the law there can be various other examples. Like in a family matter it will be written, in a partition matter it may be written a little differently. Okay, so it depends. What are the names of the parties? So this is how it's written, like this. Okay, so here they are not writing CS, they are writing title suit number 589 of 2009. This is how you write the parties names. Okay, here, so that's fine, but you see how to write the parties names, plaintiff and defendants, very clearly, right? So this is, okay, first point is writing the title in the court of dash and the location also now here. Then counsel, who is the counsel for the plaintiff and the defendant? This goes, you don't see it in the judgments that you read usually, but here you have to write judgments, you'll see if you scroll. So counsel in the presence of, this is saying, right, name of counsel, advocate, pleader for the plaintiff, name of counsel for the defendant. Okay, stick to this point, everybody. Now this is the most important. If you remember this, your judgment will never, and you will be able to remember, you will be able to ensure that you always follow the correct format. The main body of the judgment has actual parts. Okay, one is facts and the case of both parties. You can summarize the facts. Then issues or charge in criminal case, right? And what are issues? Issues basically are wherever the parties are at dispute, one party, allegations of another party. Now, wherever they are not matching, whatever point you need to determine to decide those allegations, that you have to frame in language, and that is called an issue. Then you have to go and move to evidence. As a judge, you need to know what is the evidence for the issue that. Then you have to go issue wise, you have to say law plus the analysis. What is analysis? You have facts and evidence and law. So you have to do this for every issue. If a case has 3 issues, then you have to do law plus an, and then you have to answer the issue, that this issue is established or it is not established. At the end, you write a decision. The decision, this plaintiff won or the suit is dismissed, right? The suit is decreed in favor of the plaintiff or suit is dismissed, like that. I'm going to show you how it looks, but I would like it that you can think of what field is. So look at this vertical your screen and see, it's called field. Facts, issues, evidence, law plus analysis, and decision. We use this memory technique so that it's called a mnemonic, so that you can comfortably always remember how. So now I'm going to show you from a court judgment, and then we will write the actual judgment here. I will do it for. Okay. In this case, the evidence and fact is together. They have not distinguished it. Whatever allegation is there, you the true fact. Like if one party is saying that the partnership deed is not registered, here you don't have any other information and you can't determine it based on trial, right? You are writing the judgment. So you'll assume that this is the true fact here. Okay, so you will decide it on the point of law based on the fact that is given. Now look at this. This is a suit for dash purpose, for declaration, permanent injunction, and temporary injunction. So you'll say, what is the suit filed for? Then you are writing plaintiff. This is not this judgment. This is a different judgment from a real judgment. I'm showing how a judge writes. They'll write the plaintiff's case. Then they will write the defendant's case. I'm just summarizing. So you can summarize here. And you can summarize in this case the arguments that are there. And here produce the question. But you have no, this will carry marks. The format of the judgment counts and it carries marks. You don't mention ratio decidendi. That is for the lawyers to figure out when they read your. So you don't have to mention the ratio decidendi. Now look at the issues. So after the arguments of both parties, the case of both, then you are saying what the issues are. This I will teach you with respect to the current facts of the case, and I'll give you I will ask you to frame also. Please use the heads field. Don't tell the examiner that you're using field because it doesn't help. This is only for your mind. For power. So issues, now you see how they are written. They are saying they are always written in the form of question. Best way to write them is to use whether the plaintiffs have sufficient cause of action, whether they are entitled to get the decree, to what other relief, if any, they are entitled for. Is the suit maintainable? So you can where you can say what is the question, right? It can start with whether, is, what, all of that. Here they are recording the evidence. It's a simple question. You don't have evidence as a separate heading, but where you have, there you have to make this format. Okay, that evidence of one side is like this and evidence of the other side is like this. Don't worry if you have missed a part. Follow the next part. Don't miss the next part also. Okay, I'm going at a moderate pace, but we need a lot to cover. Okay, so this is the evidence of the defendants. Now this is the findings. Okay, findings is the analysis. So issue wise finding, issue number 1 and 2, they are saying this is a suit of civil nature, the cognizance of which is not issue answered accordingly and in favor of the plaintiff. So point by point you have to write the issue. Okay, you all are going in your random questions. Don't go in the random directions. Obiter, ratio, you have nothing to the point. You don't have the luxury to write obiter. You will not finish the paper. Don't write obiter in your judgment. Okay, issues number 3 and against the plaintiffs. As a result of this, the suit fails, court fees paid is correct. Or you can say who will bear costs, parties to bear costs. Instant suit B and the same is hereby dismissed on contest. You can write directly, the instant suit is dismissed, parties to bear their own costs. Interim order, that's it, you can write that. Okay. Name and signature of the judge and date of judgment. This is very important. Don't write your right civil judge. So there are two, three ways of writing it in every local court. Now, every trial court has a specific procedure. It is not so important to procedure, but broadly it should be, they are all similar. Look at this. The name of the judge, civil judge, junior division, and the name of the court and the date. And then he signs it, dictated and corrected by me. Now check the next one. Name of the judge again, name of the courts and the open court on this date. So like this you can write. Okay, simple way. Now these components state because the High Court will prescribe the format and then it will be used. You don't have to necessarily stick to the exact trial court format, but this is a trial court anywhere in India, so you can follow this. Okay, if it varies slightly, that's not a problem. The ingredients have to be there in the right place. Now, are you ready with me? You are familiar now with the format, because without format, if I start teaching you judgment writing, it won't work. So now I'll do two things. Okay, we will analyze also, but we will not analyze all the issues because then that will require me to teach you law also. So we will not analyze all the issues. I will just show and then I will show you how to write the decision. Okay, is that sufficient? So let me take you how. So simple thing is that you have to find the points of difference, right? So how will you frame issues? Whatever the defendant has said, you and you will start to create issues around that because the defendant is the one objecting, right? Plaintiff asked for 10 things. Now the defendant is saying, no, 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 this can't be done, this can't be done, this. First point of reference is always going to be from what the defendant is saying. Okay, that is what you are going to look at to start framing the. What are the 5 points of, so identify the points of difference. Now there are 4 assertions in the plaint, 4 in defense, 5 in. So we will just look at how to make this, how to write this. Okay, I will show you the problem again if you want, but first you think of this. How do you frame an issue? You have to look at it this way, that it should enable you to answer the petition. Let me go back a few steps to show you what the petition was. Okay, then I see this is the averments of the defendant. As a partnership firm is not registered, the suit is not tenable. Plaintiff cannot take a decision alone. You can frame issues, right? If you don't know any law, you will just write whether, and then you will write each of these sentences. Okay, whether a suit can be filed in case of an unregistered firm by the plaintiff, whether plaintiff can unilaterally take a decision on partnership. Okay, like that you can say, what is the share of the plaintiff in the share capital and profit? So you frame each of the in the, because then you can determine it. Follow till here. I will show you how I frame the questions. मैं आप इंग्लिश सुनिए, आप समझ जाएंगे, या कोशिश करेंगे तो इंग्लिश इंप्रूव होगी. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ये भी. These are the issues.
हमारे कोर्सेज में लेकिन अलग से हिंदी का होता है, हिंदी कोर्सेज अलग बैच में.
Okay, whether a suit, one second, whether a suit for dissolution of an unregistered firm, partnership firm is maintainable. If yes, whether a suit for dissolution is tenable against a minor. Whether the partnership can be dissolved, partnership firm can be dissolved unilaterally by the plaintiff. Whether defendant number 2 becomes a silent, providing his premises for use by the partnership firm without charging rent. Based on this, there is a connected issue whether the share of the plaintiff is half, or if the guy who provided his premises becomes a partner, then his share will be 1/3. Otherwise, plaintiff share will be half. Right? So, how many issues you have? Question paper setters are smart, right? They have given you 4 allegations of defendant. So you should frame an issue on every allegation of defendant at least. Okay. Defendant is captured here now. Okay. Following till here, how to frame issues. Do you want to try and frame issues on chat? I'll move on. Okay, if you want, you can frame issues on chat. But this is very important. Learning how to frame issues is damn important, and sticking to format is very important. If you do the, you will immediately get like 4-5 marks just for this much. Okay, without analysis of law and without decision. Then I'll teach you how to do this. Answer the issues right now. Frame the issues is the only task I gave you. You're interpreting it in a different direction. Please only frame the issues right now. Did you learn how to frame the issues? Did you frame the issues? Very good. Very good, Shivani. Okay. If you learn that, this is what an issue looks about, framing an issue. Perfect. Because after that, it's a function of how much law you know, how much you have practiced. Okay. So we can't go into. Okay. Whether the partnership was registered is not a valid issue for judgment writing, because the answer is not given. It is saying, defendant, this is an unregistered firm. So you can't, how will you know whether it was registered? How will you decide it? You don't have any fact to decide it except to believe the defendant. So here you will, this was an unregistered firm. Okay, good. So I'll move on now. Use defendants. Okay, now we are doing in field, there is evidence and law together, right? So now I'm going law together. F is for facts, I is for issue, E is for evidence, L is for law plus analysis, D is for decision. Okay, so I'm going to do evidence and the law and analysis together. There is no specific evidence actually here. There is only allegations. Okay, so basic allegations to be true, and I will see what law applies to them and how the law applies. I will do this for 2. Okay. Now let's see. To write the judgment, now the thing is that what is the legal knowledge needed? If you go into the Partnership Act, you will see you need to know 39 to 44 deal with dissolution, suit for accounts, all of that. Section 28 deals with holding out. Why it's important is because that I've given my premises for rent free of cost, so I become a partner. So you may want to apply this section there. A minor to the benefits of partnership clearly dealt with under section 30. That's there in the facts, right? Effect of non-registration, section 69. Contract Act relating to the contracting capacity of minors. Okay. Now, right now, don't worry. Take a screenshot if you want to study these sections. But imagine that you don't know the section. Okay. So imagine you don't know the section. Now I'm going to say how to go about the. So how does it look like when you apply the analysis? It looks like this. Whether a suit for dissolution of an unregistered maintainable. That was your issue 1, right? So you'll write issue 1 as the heading, and then you will write the answer. As per section 69(2), no suit to enforce any right for dissolution of a firm shall be instituted in any court unless the firm is registered and the partner's name is written in the register of firms. Therefore, a suit for dissolution of an unregistered partnership cannot be instituted, decided in against plaintiff, in defendants, in favor of defendant. Now I'll do it for another issue, which is issue 4. I'm not doing it for all the issues, okay? I want to keep it simple to understand. Did you follow issue 1? Now I am doing for issue 4. Issue 4 was on the guy who gave it for his property and said that now because I'm doing this, I'm a partner in your business. So the 5th one, sorry, so this issue says, as per section 4, this is the definition of what is partnership. It's the relationship between people who have agreed to share profits of a business, which either all of them are conducting or one of them is conducting on their behalf. Analyze this on the facts. So you have to just say that there is no such agreement with the plaintiff, oral or written, no such understanding, and he has also not agreed to bear of the business. He has only decided not to charge rent. That is not sufficient for us to conclude that he is going to allow himself losses. Right now he's coming after us because he wants the profits, probably, but there is no agreement from his side to share the losses. There is no agreement to be represented by the plaintiff. Okay, like did he agree that plaintiff will do something and then he will be bound by it? He didn't. He just said, I'll not charge rent for my, right? Now, therefore, so then you write the decision. He does not become a silent partner. The share of the plaintiff continues to remain %. Issue decided in favor of plaintiff. It is decided against defendant in favor of plaintiff. In favor of plaintiff, maybe some are decided in favor of defendant. Okay, now what does your eventual decision look like? Your eventual decision looks like this. Sorry. Therefore, the suit fails or succeeds and the petition is disposed of accordingly. Both parties to bear their own costs, depending on what your overall finding is. Now, if the suit only couldn't be filed in the first place, you will decide, because in the exam you have to show. A real court may not do that. A real court will say because the firm is unregistered, no suit can be filed and close the matter. But it's to test your knowledge and analysis. So you will write down for each issue and you will say that because on the preliminary issue, the suit fails because the it is decided against the plaintiff. It is the suit is dismissed. And then you can write each party is to bear their own cost. Each test individually. So does it look like it's very difficult? Did it look like or could you follow it?
I understand some of you are finding this challenging and difficult about that. Okay, it's like for the first time you're doing something. So if I ask you to do a dance for the first time or gymnastics, you'll find it difficult, right? If I ask you to swim for the first time, you'll find it difficult. But this is what it looks like. If you keep doing it a lot, then you will get better at this, right? But did you understand anything at all? Did you learn something new? Yes, no, maybe. Did you learn something new? Did you start to understand something, anything new? Yeah. So that is what. Don't focus on what you did not understand, because this is your right. If you want to learn a new language, do you expect to learn everything in your first session? Is that possible? Okay. If you want to learn swimming, do you think on first class of swimming you learn how to swim? Is that possible? No, but you're getting started. Okay. We know that we cannot teach you everything in these 3 days, right? But we are showing you the path, we are showing you the way, how to do it, what to do, how to do it, why do in a certain way, right? So that is the goal. Okay. So are you guys feeling good about what you learned? Right? Are you feeling good? Good in the chat. Don't write yes, right? Good, bad, whatever you are feeling. Okay, Abhyuday, proceed.
Okay.
Some
We
people
are, I think we'll share this judgment with you. This is what a model judgment looks like. Okay, so that you have to look at. So you see it is issue 1, then it is analyzed and decided. Here the issues are framed first, here. Issues are framed, then issue-wise analysis is there, then the final decision is there. Okay. Either way, one thing to notice that everyone frames identical issues. A lot of times people will frame different issues, but that's fine. Okay, as long as it is legally correct and you are able to effectively on sound legal analysis, that's fine. Okay.
and also some people are asking about is there a word limit and all of it. Maybe there is, doesn't matter, but you cannot write unlimited, right? You are giving exam. There is a time bound exam. You need to finish, right? So that you can move on to the next question. So do you want to sit and write a 100-page judgment? That doesn't make any sense, right? Then you will fail the exam for sure. You want to write short because it is in your interest. Okay, Abhyuday.
If you follow the format, after add incomplete sentences, that itself will make you reach like at least 200 words. It will make you reach. Okay. And don't have to write more. Don't even think of word limit. See, word limit is an issue only in direct descriptive type questions. Explain powers of civil court and about it. Otherwise, it's not necessary. Now, quickly, do you want to know about the mistakes that people make so that you are planning correctly for this judgment skill? First few mistakes, okay, and check now that okay, I learned this when I'm narrating this thing that okay, not correct code. They identify like the wrong court. So in a civil case, they might write JM Judicial Magistrates Court or High Court Judge, okay, or District Judge criminal case, or some facts are there which require trial by sessions court and you write judicial magistrate. Don't do that. Okay. The format, the full format we'll send you as a giveaway. Some people identify incorrectly, or they don't mention only, or they don't put a right name of the parties. Okay. And you can't say the plaintiff is the complainant. Plaintiff means plaintiff, complainant in criminal case. So that has to be clear. Now, making mistakes with the format components is common for people. So this is something you need to be clear. That's why I gave you acronym FIELD. Okay, FIELD is what you not knowing the law. This is something that will come with study and practice. Because the better you know the law, the clearer you are, the better your judgment writing will be. doesn't mean that you sleep off for judgment writing till you learn the law, because you will not know how to apply it then, right? That's why I taught you judgment writing. Okay. I'll not send the PPT, but we'll send you the judgment format. Framing issues or the charge incorrectly because of or lack of understanding on how to frame issues. Now I give you very clear trick that you see what the defendant is saying and frame issue around that, because you have to determine. So now you will have a pointer that I will always frame issue around this, so it will always be a relevant. You will not frame irrelevant issues. Again, based on knowledge, that incorrect analysis of law and evidence, knowledge and writing, so they arrive at the wrong analysis, so that you don't have to do. Charge and issue are framed in similar ways. Okay. Incoherent writing, they write everything but communication doesn't match, so they frame the issue but they write a different analysis, or the examiner can't understand that how your conclusion is being written some explanation, but it's all obiter, it's all random stuff. Okay, it's unconnected to the determination of the issue. Some people don't create a strategy, they may end up going hardcore into deep analysis mode in the examination hall, and they will spend so much time that their other don't get done. So you have to operate within the time limit, otherwise you will not manage to complete the paper and you will lose marks. Okay, a lot of time, and you have to practice always being on time, completing all the components. Maybe you don't know properly, somebody asked that what do I do law. If you don't know the whole law, you can still write the judgment as per the format, decide the issues you know about. The issues you don't know about, you can write the analysis, you can best move on, because if you get an issue wrong, you will lose marks for that, but you will not mess up the whole judgment, you will not miss out on time to write the other. That is an exam strategy. Okay, so here's what you need to learn. Recap. Okay, this is recap. The format of the judgment, identity or charge, analyzing the applicable legal provisions and the evidence together, and you must focus on all the parts of proportionately, otherwise you will stand to lose. Right, so now I have recapped a little so that you are all clear. Awesome. So y'all have already answered, some of you have been learning new stuff, but yeah, go ahead and share one thing that we'll be really happy to know that how we could contribute. We want to know. So if you learned something new, you say, okay, I learned field, or I learned for why, whatever you learned. Okay, it could be writing issue or the parts of the judgment or common meaning. And other people who have already attempted the exam or studied the subject on your own, or you have gone to coaching, did you learn something new with this? If you've already done all of this, yeah. Has anybody attempted an exam before and done judgment writing? Did this add value to you? If you're in the first, second, or third year and you're preparing for judiciary, did you learn something new? And more importantly, could you think this is how the method works? And you learn it really fast, but if you don't practice, you will forget. So you have to practice to become perfect, and you have to practice variations. Okay. Then some petitions you have to learn, like plaint, written statement. That's a different part. That's drafting. Going into drafting, so I'm going to go forward. Okay, if you learn how to draft judgments and like 5 important petitions, you will be able to consistently score marks in every question on judgment writing. Okay, now we are going to move on. Slides, because we have completed it. Yeah, this is an important part. Okay, do I really want to become a judge? What are the pros and cons of Ramanuj? Can you want to take this?
No, you take it up, I'll just add something here. How many of you find yourself in a dilemma that I am not sure? Is that the case, guys? How many of you feel like that? That yeah, sounds good, but not entirely sure. Maybe, may not be. How I want to be a judge or not? There are people. Some people are like, yeah, hell yeah, मुझे तो judge बनना ही है. मतलब मैं जी रहा हूँ इसी के लिए. मुझे तो But others are there who are not very sure. Okay, they have dilemmas, right? They're like, okay, I can become a judge. What if I become a lawyer? What if I work in a law firm? What if I do litigation? What if I join something else? And there are some also. Next slide, Abhi.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many of you are by now very sure that you want to? There's no doubt. Okay. So those of you who are very sure, you can still listen to understand, to validate your own decision. But the people who have a doubt, you really need to hear. It's very important for you. Okay, next. Okay, there are some legitimate questions. What are your questions? What is your dilemma? Why are you hesitating to become a judge? Tell me, what is your hesitation? Those who are 100 salary. Vartika is saying salary. Work hours and salary. Garima is saying lack of guidance, uncertain about vacancy. Is saying, right? Self doubt in my capabilities, earning pay scale not so good, as lawyers, right? What many people have written a lot of things. 67. Mostly people are talking about pay scale, right? Pay scale, hectic life, stress, and work-life balance. Actually, work-life balance for judges is pretty good. Okay, political interference, some people are saying, but most in rural areas, posting in rural areas. Okay, so let me solve your problem. Okay, I will give you, there is no social life, there's no social life for judges, all of this, right? So we are going to answer your questions. Okay, all of these are very good questions, and you need to think of these aspects before you decide to become a judge, and we are going to give you the answer for this, right? Next. So a lot of people do not want to become a, it's one big reason. Next one, judges do not earn a lot. So, judges have a fixed salary and they can't earn more. But there are lawyers who earn 5 lakhs or even more than that, right? You know such lawyers, right? Who earn 5 lakhs rupees per month, correct? And you are thinking that if I become a judge, that's true, right? Next slide, Abdullah. Right? So how much do you want to earn? Being rich is subjective. It is true that you can't become, right? You are not going to become a millionaire as a judge, right? And some people are saying, what about bribe and all of that? That's like most probably if you do that. Okay, so that's, we are not going to talk about, I mean, bribes is very, don't become a judge thinking you will get a bribe, you will be high, right? But you can become a millionaire as a lawyer, right? So many people have a lot of hesitation that, for me, not sure. I want to earn more money, right? Some people are sure that I don't care. I want the respect and I want the power and all of that. But it is a problem that is stopping them from becoming a judge, and they're hesitating. Next, so I will have a solution for you. I'll give you an. I will explain what actually judges earn, right? So Abhyuday, you can explain this part, and then I'll come back.
So see, the judges' salary, I'm going to repeat again, right? Judges are getting a very good salary after the second National Judges Pay Commission. The recommendations are not yet implemented, but they will be. There is a move towards that. The salary of district judges is going over 2 lakhs, 3x, 3 times the current salary is getting an increase as per the second National Judicial Pay Commission. Second, they are getting, so an entry level judge's salary goes up to 1.5 lakh. That table again, but I want to tell you about the perks that they get. Okay, they get like vehicle, drivers, staff, armed guards, bungalows in posh areas, and various other benefits. What are these like? I'm actually going to show you, and then you tell me, okay, whether it is secure, whether you get a good life or not. 0.5 doesn't include all the perks. There is additional stuff. Okay. district judges get 2,500 square feet residence, okay, or civil judge gets 2,000 square feet residence. Then there's furniture allowance, maintenance allowance, okay, the house there, and the bungalows or flats are marked for 5 to 6 bedroom. This area basically you get 5 to 6 BHK, but by chance if there's a shortage they'll give you a 5 BHK, right? That is what is there. Okay, entry level junior division doesn't get it, but I don't think that you're deciding based on that, but they also get a place to stay, right? They get a good house. You are aware of that, right? Category, I will say, then we will never finish. Please understand. Advance for building your personal house you will get. So you'll stay in government house, but you get soft interest rate for building personal house. For now, that could even be for purchase of land or for construction. Some people may have ancestral house, right? And they may ancestral house.
इतना एक्सप्लेन मत कर यार, थोड़ा फास्ट बोलिए, सब उतना ज्यादा मतलब डिटेल में जाने की जरूरत नहीं, मतलब show them quickly, but
okay. There will be security for 4 to 5 home guards, gunmen also, okay. Escort vehicles, if you're going for official work, you will get an from the district police headquarters. Conveyances there, and they specify sedan or SUVs, okay. Fuel allowance is also given, plus you want to buy loans for that. Personal assistant or a peon or a home guard or a cook, all of that, or a clerk, they are provided. Electricity are also reimbursed, and there's a certain amount of units are reimbursed to you. Telephone allowance is there, medical allowance is there. There is like subsidized education and allowance for children. Hostel charges included right up to class 12. Higher studies for the judge. You yourself want to pursue LLM or doctorate, then you get an advance increment for studying, okay. That is really interesting. Then location, remote location or in a risky location, then you may get a location allowance or a risk allowance. Like if you are posted in Jammu Kashmir, then there is a specific allowance. Paper, magazine subscriptions, all of that. Then there is DNS allowance, robe allowance, and transfer grant. Right now, there is even more. Like substantial. What do you think? Then a lot of judges are earning a lot, retire also as arbitrators, even district court judges, okay. It doesn't have to be a Supreme Court judge only. Indian judiciary prefers retired judges as arbitrators. You have studied arbitration. If you study arbitration law, you will know a lot of arbitrations are appointed. The courts will appoint a retired judge, okay. And look at the amount of compensation they get. The Arbitration Conciliation Act prescribes the amount, and this often is the minimum amount. Lot of even more, okay. But look at the amount: 5 lakh in dispute, 45,000. You can see here 20 lakh to 1 crore, 97,500. Decent amount, a very good amount.
Basically, once you become arbitrator, after you retire as a judge, you don't have to retire. You understand. After 30 years, you can retire after 5 years also, or whenever you're ready, right? And if you can become an arbitrator, you can break into that. You can make a lot of money, more money than lawyers make for being an arbitrator, right? So that is also a possibility, okay. And yeah, civil judges, 25% of all high court seats are reserved for civil judges, right? 75% from the bar and 25% from civil judges. But it is very few, not so many people become high court judge. You have a good chance also.
Okay? Also, I think that then you have a better chance because you have a bigger track record and more.
Correct. For becoming a high court judge, you have to do it early in your career. You have to get paid, so on. So it depends on how fast you become a judge. There is no process of selection for arbitrators. Hello, everything does not have exam. Okay, if you are a judge, become an arbitrator, okay. Retired judges become arbitrators, okay.
So you don't have, yeah, retire also if you want to continue working.
Some people retire take voluntary early retirement, okay. 5 years, right? yes, if you have been a district judge and you're retired district judge, you can get appointed very easily into arbitration matter. Difficult at all. There is no salary of arbitrator. We showed you, na, per matter. They get a percentage of the matter, right?
Yeah.
3%, 1% of the whole value. Imagine there is a 1 crore value matter and you are getting 3,37,500%. That's a lot of money, right? That's almost, 4.5 lakhs. That's a lot of money. For per arbitration, arbitrators are super rich, and pension, of course. So depending on how many years you have served in the judiciary and all of that. But if you leave early, a lot of lawyers now become a judge for 5-6 years and then they leave after that, and because pursue opportunities in private sector. Abhyuday, I'll show you right now. Abhyuday, show.
Yeah, and here for examples of district judges who quit their jobs and went on to work for top law firms and even become partners there. Luthra hires young ex-judge in. This is Bharat Chub. He's now practicing independently. He quit Luthra as well. So yes, you can start practice later if you want. That you may not practice before the same court, but you can practice before the High Court or the Supreme Court. Okay. Another former judge, Kanchan Topo, joins LNL part. Why is this happening? See, first look at this. Becoming a judge is probably a great way, right, to excel in your career. Then you are getting great perks. You can join a law firm. You want to excel in litigation, you can do that. What can be a better way to get experience or credibility or trust from clients? For a client, imagine, a client comes to you and says that there's a disputed matter, and you say, I have been a judge before for 20 years. You know exactly how the court better than any lawyer. Okay, very easy for the client to trust you. They ask
you have to be a judge for 20 years to say that. Even if you have been a judge for 2 years, still okay, than a lawyer, right? If you have a matter and somebody has already been a judge, will you go to that person if he's available? You'll have more confidence in that person, right? Yes, no, maybe, right? There are two persons. One person has been a judge, one person, right? Who will have more trust from you, right? This is what exactly it is. Yeah, move on.
Law firm, again, we showed you that is possible. Every big law firm has a disputes practice. Okay, they have a litigation and disputes practice, and a retired judge is a find for them. They really want to have a retired judge in their disputes practice who can be a partner there. And you can make partner much faster through this method than age as you. Your compensation also will be much better. Okay. If you want to work in academia later, who will refuse to admit a former judge in any program? Any LLM, any PhD you think of, all good colleges will compete in their college to take admission. They want to show that a retired judge has pursued a postgraduate degree from here, right? They want that kind of talent. They want that kind of. If you want to start your own law firm, it will again be far easier for you to build credibility compared to others. Clients trust lawyers who have been judges in the past. You imagine you have a problem, you need a legal help. Okay, will a client trust somebody who has been a judge or somebody who has just been practicing? Which of the two will be trusted? If you want to study in Harvard or Oxford with a scholarship, then again it's quite easy.
If you want to do your Harvard or Oxford or Cambridge LLM and master degree or PhD and want to get scholarship, right? So imagine if you're a judge, it is super easy to get that, okay? Because you are in public service, and these universities want to have such students who are already judged somewhere, right? It is very prestigious for them to say that, oh, we have a judge. So you'll definitely get scholarship. Many judges get scholarship very easily for these things, right?
It's very life-changing in this way, and it opens 1,000 doors of opportunity which aren't available otherwise. And the best thing that you can do right now crisis already, right? We talked about so many thousands of vacancies being there. Okay, and that crisis is in your favor. There are more seats being announced now.
How
In the
many of
case,
you did not believe yesterday when we said that there is a massive crisis, government trying to hire a lot of judges and not able to fill up, announcing vacancies, not able to find judges? How many of you did not believe us? Right? Right? Skeptic in the chat. Right? Skeptic. Okay. A lot of you, some people know, but a lot of people did not believe. Right? Skeptic. Okay. Now I'm going to show you. Next up, you the next.
Supreme Court and government are determined to appoint more judges, but they can't find talent, as it has been consistently media again and again. India's legal education system doesn't train you. It is notoriously poor, doesn't train you on the skills. The bar exam is extremely simple, was open book until like the next edition. Government has put in place a tough exam to ensure that people in judiciary doesn't come crashing down. If that happens, it will lead to anarchy and democracy will collapse. So we need good judges and really fast. Look, why India? This is a article.
You can
Stating
Google
why.
this yourself. You can Google this yourself. This I have taken, right? You can Google this yourself. Why India's courts are struggling to find judges, and you will see so many reports, so many government has. And this is from real newspaper, January 8, 2020. You can see this last updated on January 8, 2020, right? And they have written, court is struggling to find judges and to fill up all the vacancies across India. Okay, good people, because of all this, that's why they have implemented the pay commission, right? And made the salary 3 times more, because a lot of people were not like choosing to become judges. A lot of people are competing, but those people are not the smartest. They are not the most well prepared, right? So increasing the vacancies, and we have told you vacancies right now this year may be less, but vacancies will go up like anything, right? Nothing to worry about that. These in vacancies are coming, and we have explained why. Because India is trying to increase its per capita judge from 25 now to 50. So there will be 10,000 new vacancies in the next 2 years. Okay, 10,000 new vacancies across India in next. So a lot of smart people did not become judge earlier, but now they want now, because there is so much more salary. There is so many, like you can be an arbitrator. You can, even if you become a judge, you can quit and become arbitrator. You can quit and do private practice. So opportunities are growing like anything. Okay, next 5 years you will see massive number of it like this. Like every there may be 10,000 new vacancies, which government will struggle to fill. That 10,000 may take 3-4 years, 5 years to fill, but by then. Okay, so there will be a lot of vacancies in the years to come. Right now things got slowed down because of COVID, but this is good. Things actually got slowed down. I am the guy in blue t-shirt, green t-shirt. Okay, so what that you have really great number of this kind of vacancies are going to come in the next few years, and the government wants such judges who are the really good people, good, well prepared, coming, talented people. Why should all the talented lawyers go to law firms? What do government have to do to bring them here? So yes, competition may also increase. Number of opportunities going to increase drastically. Go ahead, Abhinay.
So this is really your moment. This is the best career move from any angle. Itself, it is a very good career. You want to build other kind of career, practice, law firm, all these options available. And by the way, somebody asked me that if I do Harvard or Oxford, do I have to resign? You don't have to resign. You will be a judge and you will do your studies and office, and government will pay you also to do that. You get extra advance increment, and Harvard and Oxford will want to give you scholarship. You understand how it becomes so You just have to prepare hard to clear this exam. 5,000 hours of dedicated hard work is needed in good direction. You need good. Use that time well, and this can be accomplished. And your life will change forever. Like this one action can change the full future direction of your life. Ready for this? How many of you were not convinced earlier when we were talking, but now you are very sure that you want to become a, and say that if that is for you. Yeah, just now see, dream or an insight is not enough, right? Like you can just sit with your vision and it will go away if you don't get there. So what action are you to move towards it? What action are you going to take? For you, we are opening up 10 more spots today. Okay, because a lot of you could not book your seat yesterday, site crashed, had questions. So you have an opportunity to jump in or regret. Okay, so opportunities to jump in. You don't jump in, you don't know hits. Anyone is interested. Okay, 10 seats are only there. This is the time. Click on this link, lawsico.com/ link with you. Okay, and block your seat. Okay, this is not working. I need the link. Can somebody share the? Is there anybody here who can share the link?
Okay, the link is not working. Tech team has taken it down. We'll just talk to them. Till then, we'll share it later. A little later, we'll share it. When it is up again, we'll share it. Abhyuday, continue.
Just messaging the team. So after 10 people pay, the link will show waiting list instead of pay now button. Okay. Want to know the offer once again, I will repeat it briefly. There is the lot of the courses are judiciary test prep course, 1,50,000. I'll tell you the price and all of that, but the value of this course is 1,50,000. There are several you out with specifically like starting with English from scratch or backup courses for government jobs or courses for private practice or firm jobs. Okay. So I'm sharing which names of the names of the courses. There's a 12-month diploma in English communication worth 50,000, backup legal officers exam, limited insolvency exam of IBPI. A lot of lawyers want to crack this exam. Law clerk cum research assistant exam to become a with the Supreme Court, and 6-month UGC NET JRF exam to teach if you want to take teaching up. LLM entrance is also included. APO, we will teach you APO ka syllabus inside judiciary already. We didn't launch it separately. You the skills. The APO is a function of general knowledge, current affairs, and the criminal law portion of the judiciary plus state police acts. That's already level judiciary exam. So APO is covered. Okay, I just don't want to write additional courses and jack up the price. APO is already covered here. Okay. For litigation, freelance work and corporate work are here. Advanced criminal litigation and trial advocacy course, 3 months. Civil litigation course, proper drafting, everything in a practical way. It will help you in your internships, working with seniors, or getting your own client. Also, you will be able to serve your own client confidently. And then there's a diploma for 12 months in contract drafting, negotiation, and dispute resolution. This is certified by NSDC, Skill India program. Under Skill India and MEPSC, these are entities under the government's wing. They are certifying it. Okay. With LawSeco, it is 36,600 price. Then there's an introductory course to 2-month introduction to legal drafting course. Okay, you learn how to right from scratch from the basics, and all kinds of drafting you will learn for court work, contracts, opinions, all of that. Then there's an introductory course for relationships, knowledge management, and research and writing jobs. A lot of these jobs are available for from various countries in the world outside India. And you are getting, a lot of our students are getting paid freelance projects because on writing, administrative work, virtual assistant, all of that. So you learn how all of that knowledge management work you'll learn through this course. Then there's a 1 month course for practical contract drafting, where you learn contract drafting from basic by MEPSC and Skill India along with LawSeco. Total value of all these courses is, including the bonuses, is 3,96,000, 4 lakh rupees. Today, for the first 10 people, you will get them for 65,000 only, because we are giving this only to 10 today. 10 more seats are there. That is all. Okay. To avail of the offer, you need to block your seat and make a deposit of 5,000 rupees. Balance now you can pay in lump sum. You can pay 60,000 balance, or you can pay in 18 months through EMIs. It is interest free for you. 3,000 rupees over next 18 months you can pay. All of it is included. No additional interest on. Will bear the interest. Okay. You can add it up. It comes to 60. No extra charges, no interest. To block your seat, Ramanuj, did you get the link? Is there anybody who can share the link?
The link is working. The same link.
Okay. So here's the link. Now EMIs are extremely affordable. Several of our students earn many times more than EMI amount in a few months only after pursuing the course. And when they start, they are like able to design how much I want to earn, how to split my time, and three hours a day, 2 hours a day, you can work and earn much times of the EMI very comfortably. Okay, so imagine if you could earn in college like 10,000 rupees per month, and your EMI is 3,300, working 2-3 hours a day, and you have balanced time to yourself. Now you have extra money, you have time for judiciary prep, you already are very confident that I don't have a worry about not being able to get jobs. All of that happens. Okay, offer is completely risk-free for you. There is a refund policy. The classes for a month and do all the exercises, and if you're not happy after that, the whole money will be refunded. A lot of people are asking, is my booking fee refundable? Be refunded if you pay the balance, do the course for 1 month, and then you're not happy. We will refund everything. We will not hold the booking fee. But remember, there are total 10 seats now, right? You block somebody else's seat and then you say I have a change of mind and you claim a refund. That won't work. Okay, how long for this is accessible? The judiciary course is accessible till you clear the exam or you keep attempting. Okay, if you stop attempting, we will revoke it. Keep accessing it till you attempt the exam and clear it. Okay, to be just, this is in your interest, so that we can, and our interest also, we want to work for longer. We are fine, you consume our services, do more assignments, do 5 times more assignments, attend more classes, but we want that to happen so that your chances increase. We are interested in creating success stories also. We are making this offer because a lot of you can't afford the full price of our courses, and outside of tried to buy any course from us, and if you asked for discounts, you would have known we never give any discounts. Our team would have refused. Okay, many of you and some of you have tried to bargain and you were refused any discounted amount. But these scholarships help us to create more success stories, find the most people for whom, and even if finances are concerned, they are able to move beyond that. Their determination is high. Okay, and that is how it helps us as well, by only attracting the most learners. If you have emergencies and all of that, we will help you out. Okay, we will help you succeed later. Don't worry. Okay, you can take extra time after you book backups also. If you have so many other courses that you can also pursue and go forward in your career. Okay, after question of booking amount not refundable, someone's typing.
Yeah, booking amount I have already clarified. Booking, for example, there are 2 scenarios. You paid the book and then 15 minutes later you say, okay, now I want refund. Not possible. Okay, if you want refund, it is possible. For that, maybe by taking the loan or by paying the rest of the fee, and then then you join the course for 1 month, for 30 days. You do all the assignments, you do attend all the classes for 1 month, and then you say that I am not happy with this course. I am this course. So between 30th and 45th day, if you tell us that I want a refund, we will give you full 100% refund back any money. That time you will get even your refund, your booking amount refunded. Okay. But if you ask for refund tomorrow, day after, or before the course, after paying boot camp, after attending boot camp and booking the seat, only 10 seats are there, but you do it to say that no, I don't want to follow through and join actually the course. That is not okay. Okay. Only way you will get your refund is that if you have and after 1 month you're not satisfied with the course and you want no question asked, will refund you. Okay. Does this sound fair? Okay. Is our policy fair? Fair, right? Exactly. Right? Okay. Abhyuday, carry on.
If you attempt after 3 years also, you will get access to the material for the judicial.
Yeah, if you are going to do it next year also, doesn't matter. You should buy it now. If you are going to do it after 2 years, doesn't matter. You should buy it now. Simple reroll. You are have it available for unlimited years until you actually give the exam, or till then you have access, right? You get more time. All the other services, you get internship support. So many extra services are there. You start getting it right now. So don't delay it. Book and start your course immediately, and that will be very beneficial for you. Okay, go ahead, Abhyuday.
Okay, after you book your seat, you can pay the balance amount, or if you want financial assistance, they will connect you with our finance partners, and then your loan will be approved. Loan is approved and disbursed, you will receive a call from our onboarding team. They will help you, explain to you the different facilities, you about the classes, course now, later, how you want to pace your studies, all of that they will help you with. Okay. All right. Now I am going to help you do SWOT analysis. Okay. What is a SWOT analysis? Strengths, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Yesterday we clarified material. Okay. But now more questions we'll take later. Okay. You will get hard copy material for judiciary course. Okay. Not judiciary course, you will get hard copy material. Classes will start by 15th. Okay. Pragati just talked to our team. Analysis. Now I'll tell you what to do. Okay. We are doing a strengths, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis so that you can identify where you are standing and preparation. Okay. And it's fine if it is in a poor state, because we are going to work on it, right? It helps to know the reality before you start work on something. Knows your current reality for this. Okay. It is important to do to accomplish any big challenge in life. Okay. Now, honest when you're doing this. I am not here to judge your answers. This is a self-assessment exercise for you. I'm going to guide you through the exercise. To be the biggest beneficiary if you do it right, and the worst loser if you do it wrong. Okay, if you're not honest, you may suffer a huge loss later on, and you may miss out right now. Okay, don't be frightened. You don't have to be frightened. Okay, now I'm going to give you a file. So I'm going to share this link with you. What you have to do is you can download it, okay? Because can you see your strengths, weakness, opportunity? So you download this, okay? Just click on it. You can make a copy also if you want, or you can download it. So you do this. You can click on making a copy, or you can download from it, download it. So I've shared the link. Do this and open this file, okay? And I'll guide you through the SWOT analysis, and I'll tell you what to write. Okay. Clear? Could you download the file? I have accessible by public. Very good. Some of you could download it. Good. Good. Now you start filling in as per the question that comes. Okay. So see, there are 10 questions. Only one slide is there. Yeah. Wait. Let the magic happen to you. There are 10 questions, and for each question you will be writing there. Wait. Follow my instruction. The first part is about broad goals. Okay, my broad goals for judiciary exam are in place, and I have started studying. Okay, this is the area. There are three possibilities. Don't fill the file right now. There are three possibilities. Download the file on your computer. Three possibilities. I have shortlisted the three states to attempt the exam. Could be a yes or a no. Okay, whatever it is for you, just somewhere or just remember it right now. I'll tell you when to type. I know how many hours I need to study every day, and I have created hourly study plan. Okay. That mark yes. If you've not done that in your mind, just make it a no. I have met my hourly targets in the study plan for at least 1 week. It's a yes. If you've not done it, it's a no. Okay. Now, out of this is one area. Okay. A lot of people are having problem in downloading. In that case, you just write strengths on a notepad and then I'll tell you what to write. Okay. So broad goals is the idea. Okay. Or broad goals for judiciary prep, broad goals. Now, if you write here, now based on what was your score? Did you get 1 out of 3? Did you get 0 out of 3, 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3? This is my question. Okay, you can write back to me so that I understand that you've got it. Okay, based on whether you got 1 or 0 or 3, here it is written. This is the key. If you wrote 3 out of 3, it's a strength for you. If you wrote opportunity for you, the opportunity is to complete what you don't know, right? To finish the part that you've not done. If you got only 1 out, if it's a 0 out of 3, it's a weakness currently. Okay, what you have to write is you have to write broad goals. Sorry, in this file you have to write broad goals in the downloaded copy in the appropriate segment. So you will write broad goals. If it's a weakness, if it's 0 out of 3, you will write that. If it is 1 out of 3, you will write threat here. Okay, if out of 3, then you will write here. If you've done all 3 out of 3, you write here. Okay, clear for you how to do this? Because you have to understand the format. If it is clear for you, please let me know clear. If not clear, write not clear. You write in the appropriate segment. Okay, tell me you got 0 out of 3, 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, or 3 out of 3. Based on how many marks you got, you have a key here. It will tell you. If you got all 3 right, then obviously you've got your goals in place. 3 out of 3. If you got only 2 things you have done, but you've not done the third thing, say you have shortlisted 3 states, you have also, you know how many hours to study day 1, but you have not met your hourly targets yet. You've not started studying yet. So you got 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 is what? It's an opportunity for you. Okay. Clear now? I have explained one. Now it's clear. You didn't do any of this. You've not shortlisted your states. You don't know, not started studying. Then it's 0. That's a weakness. Immediately you have to get on to planning one thing and convert it into, let's say, an opportunity, then a strength. Okay. Clear now? I'll proceed. All the other questions have this format. The first question takes time. Okay, there are 10 such questions so that you clearly know where are your strengths and where are your weaknesses. I know which are the most important subjects and which topic in each subject to prioritize preparation. So you will only write prioritize preparation in the appropriate quadrant. Let me tell you, minimal to no chances of wasting time in studying the wrong things. Where do you stand with respect to prioritizing preparation? I have procured past year's papers. Notice unsolved papers, the way they are for prelims and mains, yes, no. I've created subject-wise trends analysis for myself for major subject, yes. An integrated syllabus of all the subjects, yes, no. Okay. This is what you have to choose. Then based on how many marks you got, if you can't download the file, write it somewhere else. Create 4 entries: strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, and then write this in that part. Write prioritize as in the right category. Okay. Clear? So now you can tell me, for those of you who could do this, whether it was a strength or a weakness or Could you do this? Opportunity. Okay, Harshita, opportunity. Some people got weakness. Okay, so you've got the format, right? 2 out of 3 is opportunity, 3 out of 3 is strength. Very good. I'll tell you what to after your SWOT is complete. Now I will go ahead. Okay. I have access to all necessary resources and guidance need to prepare for the judiciary exam. Now, how do you figure out where do you stand on this? First question, I've obtained all the books for all the subjects as per my syllabus. I have marked out what I need to study for those books, from those books. So you know which are the relevant, the irrelevant pages. And I have a supportive environment for encouraging me to study, for attempting the mocks. I have some tool where I can give the mock, can give me the mocks, give me corrections on my work, including I have a mentor I can reach out to if I'm struggling. Okay, and my support system is there. People push me to. Now, based on this, you can mark whether it's 1 out of 3, 0 out of 3, 2 out of 3, or 3 out of 3. What is the keyword to write? All necessary resources and guidance. Write in strength or weakness or opportunity or threat. Clear? Clear? This what is for everyone. It even in the first year you will have to do this only, right? Whether you're in 5th year or first year, it doesn't matter. Sorry, fourth question. I am confident about my English skills for all phases of the judiciary exam. Okay. Simple way to diagnose where do you 3 items. My vocabulary, grammar, sentence, and written communication is up to the mark. And how do you validate it? I have reviewed the past 5 years paper. I practice reading difficult texts, answering questions from them, and writing a short summary every week. And I get correct. Third is I'm confident about my spoken English. Very important where for interview. I'm regularly able to communicate my point of view to 3 or more people, including seniors who are in positions of authority. This is suited for the panel for the interview stage. Now you identify based on how much you got at the bottom whether this is a strength, weakness, opportunity, or threat. And as you identify, you can write it. Okay. And I will then go on. You could identify. Good. Part 3, quickly scan it, moving on. Okay. Part 5, I am prepared for my Hindi or regional language skills. Okay, now this is a very important one. I know the difficulty at which the languages. I have a precise understanding of what I will be tested on. So this is knowing what the challenge is. Then I have access to all the resources that I need to prepare, what to study from the resources. So first is I know what I'll be tested on, then I have the resources. And third is that I already and making 3 months. Now you can say which state you're in, which stage you're in. I'll be and move. Okay. Sixth question. I am confident about my judgment right skills. Same process. You reviewed the questions in past years papers of last 7 years. Even last 5 you have done, I'm fine. I have learned the format rules of document that I'll be tested on. There was judgment, there was plaint, written statement, criminal complaint, and a couple of other documents. So just even if this much you can do, statement, criminal complaint, even this much you can do, then you tell me yes. Okay, if you've learned the format and the rules. Third is I've practiced this at least, so 5 times I've practiced each of these. Okay, so you mark this, please. Okay, waiting for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Part 7, I'm on track with GK and social. How do you know this? Are you devoting 30 to 60 minutes to current affairs every day to stay on track? Do you have the resources for static GK? Already making progress every day by going through them. Third, do you practice social legal essay writing skills to improve yourself? Do you write at least one essay? Okay, 5 seconds and I'll move. I am making progress on answer writing. For the means exam. Okay, I review the solved or unsolved papers of questions of past year's papers. Then I practice answers to them. And then I practice weekly answer writing based on trends for other questions. So I do the past year's papers and okay. So you can mark where you stand for this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last two questions. I have a plan for interview prep which is realistic. Interview preparation is the key. Now, some ways to know this. Own video or audio for 5 to 10 minutes for on a socio-political issue and developing my opinion. Asta, no, timing is incorrect. You have to check. 7 to 9 is the timing on weekdays. I am performing other self-confidence such as affirmations, visualizing that I will clear the exam. It is very important to keep your motivation and confidence high. I am attempting mock interviews once every month. Okay. Find out where you stand on this. Now, 0, 2, 3 out of 3. I have a backup plan in place. This is for. So how do you decide that? I know how many attempts I'll give for judiciary. I know which competitive exam of private practice backup. I'll litigate, I'll give UGC, I'll do LLM. What I'll do, I know already. And I know that I have 2 years or 3 years or 1 year. Okay. Then I have access to the resources, those backups. So if I want to litigate, I have some access to how to litigation materials. I'm doing some work on it. And then the third is that I have started spending every day to nurture those options. Are you spending at least 1 hour every day to get into corporate, criminal law, or learn your drafting? Okay, that's the question. So mark whether it's a strength, weakness, opportunity, or threat. Okay. Now the SWOT analysis is complete. Okay, now on the sheet or on your paper, see what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what your opportunities are, what your threats are. Okay. A realistic assessment as of today. Okay. A lot of you are repeating, asking me to repeat. I'll only repeat this and 4 for a second. Okay. See it for 2 seconds. It's fine if all are weaknesses. You're just starting right now. Okay. Now, a transparent view now where you stand. Okay. Now I'm telling you what to do. It's fine. You may start with everything in weaknesses. Okay. All zeros. Okay. But now, right? It's like a game of chess. You start from scratch and then ultimately you move the pawn, you move the bishop, you move each one of your pieces, and then you until right. So it's like that. Now what you have to do is that you have to have as many strengths as possible. There were 10 questions. Possible strengths are 10. This is the goal. Everything should move to strengths quadrant eventually. And when should it happen by? Ideally 3 to attempt the exam, so that you can focus on revision in peace, you can be in maintenance mode, and you can go ahead of the competition. Okay, so 2 strengths 3 to 6 months before the exam ideally. Okay, if that can't happen, we'll discuss. If there's no option, you have having exams right now, then try to move to strengths, okay, by the time of exam. Can I move forward now? Now next point, in 1 year what should you do? If you are attempting exam or 2 years, try to build at least 5 strengths to continue preparation effectively. Otherwise, you will feel complete lack of progress and time, like you have 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Then try to move at least 3 strengths. 3 areas should move to strength. To strength, they will become weakness, opportunity. From weakness, they'll go to threat, then they'll go to opportunity, then they'll go to strength. Okay, so if you have an area of strength, nothing to do, but don't go backward. So keep practicing a little. Maintenance work is like 20, a lot of work. So keep in maintenance mode for your strength. Don't slip and don't get overconfident, otherwise it'll be a problem. First thing to do, if you want a big, okay, Move something by 1 point, like convert an opportunity into a strength. Don't deal with weaknesses and threats. If you have even one opportunity, convert it into a. If you have everything weaknesses, convert one weakness 1 point up into a threat or an opportunity, just for one. This will give you a confidence boost. Will make you do things much faster. Okay, anyone. Okay, get one thing to strength eventually. Okay, and then repeat this for others. Don't deal with your weaknesses and threats all the time when you are motivated. Okay. After you've converted opportunities into strengths, you will feel excited. You will be like, okay, now let me deal with my weakest things. I have so much strength that my weakness also I'll convert into strength. Followed now? Understood what you have to do with the SWOT, where you stand. That was step one. And then how do you go forward with it? Okay. If you have understood, you can say that. You have your SWOT in front and you know what to do now next. So you know what to convert, where, what to do, right? Ramuj, can you take this next section, 226?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'll do that. Just a moment.
226. It's fine, yeah. How many weaknesses you have to, you are confronting the truth and starting from scratch. Obviously, everything will be weakness.
Screen sharing.
I'm just doing it. Yeah, allowed. And I'll make you co-host also.
We are at 226. Okay. So very, very important question. So you guys are realizing that it's not easy, right? Judiciary exam, and there are so many different challenges that are there, right? You just saw at your personal level how many different you have to learn, how many different opportunities you have to, how many we convert into strength, right? So now, if you do you realize that most of the coaching centers don't work on all these things? Find people who are already strong in most of the things, and then those are their favorite students. They focus on them, success story out of those few students, and then all the other people are joining them. Okay, seeing those successful students, thinking maybe can help us, but they are not actually working on the weaknesses of people. Do you realize this? Yes, no, maybe. Have you noticed it actually happening? Right? You might have seen the exact same thing when you are in class, you know. Remember, there were some tuition teachers who were famous, but they had few students who were actually already brilliant, and those students were getting, and your parents thought that the teacher is very good and sent you to that coaching saying that yes, go there, and actually that teacher at all. Yes, have you experienced this ever? So lot of judiciary coaching, we realized when we started studying the market, that most of the coaching centers are like this. They are not actually helping students. They are just finding some good students, and some of them, you know what they do a free boot camp like this, or a boot camp, so they don't do, but they do a free webinar, or they give some free material to download. Anybody come there, they admit card numbers, and when they get through, they will say, oh, this was my student, he came to my one, like they will claim to be student for everyone, right? And this is how they are doing. Okay, so we wanted to change that. We wanted to create an actual real course which will help people, right? So how do we create something which really help people, something that actually work with your weakness and convert it into a strength, rather than just showing off successful students, right? So how can this be done? So you guys know about Tesla. How many of you know about Tesla? Right? Tesla, if you know. If you don't know, right, don't know. Yeah, what is special about Tesla? Can you tell me? Do you guys know? It is not available in India mostly. It is very expensive to import Tesla in India. Tesla is the most fastest growing car company in the world, right? Creates electronic vehicles, right? Futuristic cars. So Tesla makes futuristic cars. They don't make cars like in the past. Elon Musk started this company, cars, and they make it available in the market. When this company was started, people laughed at Tesla, people laughed at Elon Musk, saying that this is never going to work, this is all science fiction, this is all bullshit, this is not ever going to work. But now Tesla is very, very successful. So do you think that you have been benefiting from this bootcamp so far? Because if you are benefiting, then I want your input. I want you to help me. Is that okay? Will you help me? If you're benefiting from this bootcamp, I want you to help me back. Okay. Your help in return. We are trying to create the next generation judiciary training, something different than what exists, like Tesla of, right? Something which is futuristic, which is different. Let me give you an example, right? So have you heard how Tesla is unlike any other car? It's not like other, not just a car. It's not like other cars at all, right? It is a fully reimagined car. Like somebody sat and thought that, okay, Toyota is selling, what Maruti is selling, what anybody is selling, right? What Mercedes is selling, what Lamborghini is selling, we don't care. We are going to, which is going to be for the future, which will be amazing, something completely different. So what should it be like? Okay, so they imagined, they sat and no other car. They did not try to make a better car than existing ones. They're not saying, okay, this car is there, let's make a car which is 10%. That was not their goal. They wanted to imagine what a car should be like without thinking what anyone else has already made. Okay, does this make? Tesla designers started with a clean slate. They don't care what else is there. We are going to build from scratch. And of a car, what should it have? How can we build a car for the future that is nothing like any car that ever existed, right? While building our courses, we are also inspired by Tesla. We, so how is that? We don't care what other coaching centers do. We are not them. We want to build a futuristic judiciary preparation course and other courses also, keeping the judiciary aspirants most in the mind. Okay, so I am asking you now, what are your biggest needs? Aspirant, we want to hear the ones you can think of, although there are some we have found in our research already and started to address. What are the biggest necessity that you have, biggest need that you're not getting, right? So many people are saying that, okay, timely assistant, most people are saying guidance, mentor, all of these things, right? Okay, so what concerns would you want? If you were, so I want you to imagine for a moment that you are the CEO of LawSikho, or you are like heading our test prep division, this course. So what do you want in this course? What should be there for it to be really amazing, right? What should be there to make the student really successful? And this is how we build our course, which is why our course is so different than all the other courses. Have you noticed what we are offering sometimes sounds like is possible, right? Nobody does this ever, right? But we are doing it because we don't care what other companies do. A futuristic course which will really address your need. Okay, so many people said this is the first thing I wrote. See, one-on-one guidance. We researched, people said that, I am sitting in a class of 1,000 people and I'm not getting, or 500 or 300 people, and I'm not getting any guidance what to do. Nobody's telling me. This is not enough. Going and sitting in a class is not enough, right? So one-on-one guidance and personal attention. Up to twice a week, you can schedule one-on-one guidance calls with our trainers, right? Then another big problem, many people to big city, leaving my family behind, or I have some work here, whatever, right? I just cannot relocate to Delhi or to Bombay right? Or Chennai. So how can I study from where I am? Okay. Sure, we solve that problem because it is online and accessible. Then third problem that many people said is coaching centers charge too much. We can't afford it. Some people said that, can I get scholarship in EMIs? Sure. Okay. So we solve those problems. This is a huge, big problem. Okay. Somebody is saying maybe you can in your team who can help in preparation. Yes, we already have ex judges in our team who help with preparation. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. Then exact study material. So there is two problems. Some people have too much study material. If you have too much to study, you are studying unnecessary things. It is not helping you. Then if it is or whatever, then it is not enough to substantial enough to write good answers. So you just need the right amount of study material. So this is a big concern, and we solved that problem, right? We showed you yesterday our study material, how it is color coded, made it easier to study material, which makes it easier for you to remember things, mnemonics, right? Memory techniques everywhere. So I want to do some people said that I want or continue to do a job while I'm preparing for judiciary exam. Can you help me with this? Absolutely. We helped with that. Some people, Hindi is also a big problem for a lot of people. So we created a bilingual course, Hindi, English mixed also. There's a separate batch we have created. I am new judiciary prep as I need to start earning and support myself or my family. How many of you can see this is your problem? That, yeah, I don't, judiciary, but I can't study all the time. I have to continue to do a job, or I have to support my family or my. Okay, can you help me with and keep preparing side by side? Yes, we'll help you. We'll show you how to earn as a freelancer, as a remote freelancer, so that you can actually keep studying to give up on your judiciary preparation. So we help with that also, right? It's a big, big concern for a lot of people, very intelligent people, but they'll never become because they have financial problem, but we are helping them also, right? They earn themselves and working 2-3 hours, 10,000, 15,000, at least enough to continue their studies. Okay. Then many people said that, look, I am in first year, second year of college, and I want to take advantage of this. I want to start studying now. I don't want to wait till fifth year. By that time, I'll have very less time. Can you help me to start preparing early? But I don't want to pay anything extra. Okay, no problem. It is even better for us that we are getting more time with you to train you. Instead of 2 years, I'll get 5 years with you. So I will train you. Very good, right? Write other competitive exams also apart from judiciary. So you're saying, okay, I'm writing judiciary exam, but there are other competitive exams. If I maybe I can crack APO, or I can crack SEBI, or I can crack RBI or some bank exam. Can you help me with that? Yes, we also did that, right? So I am afraid what will happen if I don't get through to judiciary. It is so hard. Only less than 1% people get. What if I don't get? Will you help job within this course, within this package? Will you help me to get a different job, different career, maybe litigation, maybe what? Something else, maybe a freelance career? Can you help me? Yes, included in this, right? We helped you even with that. Now, here that if I want to prepare for multiple states at once, then can you help? Most of the coaching centers only will help you for one or maximum 2 states. One who has coverage of 28 states. Okay, so you can choose which 2 or 3 states you want to prepare for. You have full access. Will someone check my handwritten answers? So a lot of people, you are going to coaching center, but they don't actually check your handwritten answers. Personal feedback, how to improve. You need to practice, and you need constant feedback. Every week you need feedback so that you can continuously improve. Anywhere, we are giving it to you, right? Will someone guide me when I'm lost or don't feel any more motivation? A lot of people start with a lot of excitement, and then something happens in your life. Something happens. Somebody says something, some problem happens, and then you stop studying. Does it Anywhere has it happened with you? You start with a lot of enthusiasm, but later you are not getting that support, right? So do you want center you go to call you? Okay, you are not going to classes. They are calling you and say, hey, Saloni, what happened? Why are you not coming to classes? Do you need any help from? Okay, what happened? Tell us. Let's talk about it. Okay, you suffered from COVID. Oh, you had this kind of problem. Let's see if we can help you in some way. Oh, you are not, you are financially, how can we help you? So that is how we approach our students, because we know that when our students succeed, then only we succeed. And a big people don't succeed is they lose motivation. Suddenly something happens and they lose motivation. Do you want to have us on your side? We are going to be there. I find online courses hard to trust. How many of you have this problem? That online course I cannot trust. Physical, I will trust. There are many of you like this. Your parents are saying like this, right? So can you give me? So we said that, okay, look, I understand that you are because you have never tried online courses. If you try online course once, you'll never go back. See, there are bad online courses. I'm not talking about them. Online courses, you're never going to go back, right? So what we have done is that we have given a money back guarantee that, okay, for 30 days classes, you do all our assignments. If you don't like it, we will refund your money. We will not deduct any GST, we will not deduct any gateway fee, and nothing. Entire money that you have paid as it is, will return it to you. But one condition. What is the condition? You have to attend, and you have to attend, you have to do all the assignments for 130 days. And if you don't like, then we'll return your money in 45 days. So you can go and tell your parents, they have a refund policy. It is on their website. It is written there. If I don't like it, they will refund my money. So if I don't like it, I will take my, try this at least for 1 month, right? You don't have any problem, right? So exactly this. So your parents cannot know that these kind of things are possible, right? If you ask your mother that should I buy a Tesla, she will say no, buy Tata. I never heard of Tesla, I never heard of Elon Musk, right? You should buy Hyundai, you should buy Hero Honda, whatever, I don't know, all the stuff she knows, right? Will your mother, probably somebody's mother maybe, but my mother don't know. If I ask my mother for which car to buy, she will say buy Maruti. This is the most popular car. Okay, but I will not buy Maruti. Okay, if I am running a taxi or something, I might buy Maruti. Otherwise, I will not buy Maruti as a car for myself. Okay, so your mother by showing her the refund policy that look, this is better, but if you don't trust, let me at least try. Okay, can you help me to get internships while I'm preparing for judiciary, right? So many people have this problem. They are going for a judiciary coach. That does not mean they want to stop their internships. They don't want to stop other things, right? So that, we have created that. We are helping our judiciary students even with their internships. We are helping them to get jobs, internships, everything, paid internship also. More than 10 judiciary students last month got paid internship. How many of you go cry about paid internship? Our students get paid. Okay, not everyone. If you're good, you will get paid, right? We arrange for that also. You don't, when you are preparing for judiciary exams, right? You need a friend, and we are here to help. So here is one person, I know, but my mom not allowing me to study online. She only trusts physical classes. She don't want to waste money on online coaching. Okay. Now, one thing, Shailaja, imagine that you continue like this. Okay. And your friends get this kind of support. They get the Tesla of judiciary and by the Maruti of judiciary coaching, right? Who will have more advantage? Who's going to become judge? You or your friends, right? You want to give yourself every advantage. You have to explain to your mother what is the difference between Tesla and Maruti, right? If you don't, then you are putting yourself as a disadvantage. need a friend